Good. So next we have Oliver talking about LaTeX template generators and related things. It's yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Good day. This talk was inspired because of my experience maintaining LaTeX templates for other PhD students. And as we heard at the first day, a LaTeX template is not only the CLS class, it's also about the tag file itself. And typically, one begins in copying and pasting a tag file and adapting it. And thus the thing emerges somehow, and many variants are out there. And then you backport or forward port changes of a fork of your template somehow. And over the years, this gets a mess somehow with hundreds of files. And now the thing is how to more structure it and how to ensure that a new idea of using a package is then available in all templates. And this is our proposal to do it. And I first want to go deeper into the motivation, and then some use experience of the tool I wrote, and then lastly I will finish with the developer experience, and I will invite you to join forces here. Okay, let's see, templates, because I was asked, hey, you're doing about templates. There are templates around, they are maintained, they are on C10 and so on. But for example, this IEEE template, maybe one wants to load the package CMap into it to enable proper copy and paste of words, like ligatures there, if F and L go together and you do some copy and pasting there, sometimes it doesn't work. And CMap is a solution. Then one always wants to have hyperref in there, and there's each year I would say one new hyperref option is found, and then one wants to use that. And maybe one doesn't want to have these boxes in the PDF, and one wants to have long URLs broken right, some tag exchange answer. We also saw that at the first day they had famous tag exchange answers, and why not putting them into a document? Then for me important, the power set command, that the power set is typeset correctly, because it's not a via stress P, it has to be typeset in another way. And to-dos, and maybe the microtype typic extensions like the microtype thing, cleverref, CS quotes, booktubs, paralist, hyperref I already says, hypecap to correctly jump to it, and upquote, and so on. And I will say, okay, now you're doing for IEEE, then one has to do it for LNCS 2, because this is the Springer publisher, and maybe you need to have it for that too. And I also maintain the templates for the University of Stuttgart for the computer science thing, both for master thesis and PhD thesis, because they are different too. And then if an update comes in, like the favorite way to typeset listings, then I need to copy and paste it through all templates, and I always forgot one. And how to make that better. And now I come to the solution is in place somehow, and I tell you now how students can work with it. They need to have Node.js on their machine, and I think on these days this is okay to have that as requirement. And then you say human LaTeX template, and then you get a prompt asking, what do you want to generate? Do you want today a scientific thesis template? Do you want to write something for the ACM? Do you want something to write for IEEE? Or do you want to write something for Springer? And depending on the choice there, the questions can continue asking you things. And I just went through one prompt, like if you go to IEEE, it asks you, okay, do you want to have the conference paper or the journal one? And then ask you, okay, a FEAR size or US letter. It asks you, do you want to have overleaf compatibility? Because nowadays, like if you go to overleaf, they first don't like LaTeX MK configurations. If you put LaTeX MK configurations in, they say, okay, wow, difficult, error. And the second thing is, The tag live distributions are constrained, as we heard yesterday. One can't use the newest one, but I cheated here. I even put it here, but in the normal run of the template, it does not allow you to choose the newest tag live thing. And then the thing we heard this morning, a Docker file. And for sure, we can use a Docker file. And this week, the tool got improved and Island of Tech is supported too, for sure. So if you then say, okay, I want to run my template using the Island of Tech thing, then it's working. And the details are, it uses the minimal distribution so that you don't need to download it 2 gigabytes. It uses the minimal distribution, and then it installs all the required packages. And then English, and then how do you want to do listings? Is it minted, or is the listings package? Do you want to have CS quotes? Do you have other quotes? And so you know it, and everyone has his or her preferences there. And if you are through, it generates all the files. It generates the git ignore, the editor config, the paper file, the LaTeX mkrc, and here with an underscore, so you don't get any troubles with overleaf. But now some pros can then rename it. Then some YAML thing. The paper itself, a README file, the Docker file, and the TUG file. The TUG file is the one listing the packages you need to install. And finally, a GitHub workflow file, so that if you publish the thing on GitHub, the GitHub CI kicks off and checks your file. So that you are sure if you push it, everything compiles. Okay, and then this is the result. I also included. I didn't say it, but I forgot 2 additions there. One addition is to guide students how to write a proper paper. Like if they're newcomers in the PhD life, in the first year, maybe they are not sure how to write an abstract, and so on. And then here's some text guiding through what makes up a good abstract, and then how a proper introduction is written. So this text is already in the template. So the student can base on that. This is not the important thing for now. The important thing is the minimal examples for each template. See it as a very minimal version of the LaTeX companion, like a very minimal version. And it starts for sure with the handling of paragraphs. And this is also the connection to the first day. Say, don't use backslashes to separate paragraphs. Use 2 consecutive empty lines, because it's the mistake students always do. And when generating the template, all these LaTeX hints come. So we have got an appendix at the end where you have the most important things to remember. And it is typeset using the rendered version, and also the text source itself, so that you can see while browsing the PDF, how does the rendered version like, and how does the source code like appear. And then an example, not only text, but something more like this SI unit X thing, how to properly typeset units, and then like do it like that. And there's always render text and then the LaTeX code, so that one can really see what's happening there. Okay, this is the user experience. And now let's see how can we all contribute to the thing. And for sure, it are tag files, but they are tag files with placeholders. And this is like a templating language with some ifs. Take it as like C files with some if-defs and so on. This is now the modern version of it. Like then at the beginning, there's a switch case in which document class do you have, and if it's IEEE, then it's like test with IEEE run, and then the document class is written there. Here it is like document class, IEEE run, there and there and there. And it's also like if you choose Lua LaTeX and And if you choose the minted package, you need to have shell escape, and the editor should be configured to use shell escape. So this is then the magic thing for Text Studio, so that the LaTeX compiler is put in and the shell escape, so that it automatically works. And the other magic tag thing with the BibTeX tool, so that if the tag file is loaded in Text Studio, everything works magically. Okay, this is then something, and then at the end there's some little include si-unitx.preamble.en.tag, and in that file the preamble, a snippet for si Unix is there. And then let's look at the si Unitx, and this is just a one-liner, just with the package, and then this turned out to be the best configuration for our setting, like group minimum digits 4, and promote is fraction. So this is the opinion, what I do in my templates, that this is the best SI Unitx thing. And this is all for the preamble. And there's then also an example file. So the example file rendered in the example case is like that. Heading configuration, because if you do a master thesis, the heading level is different than in a paper, so I need to have a macro here. And then the heading typeset units, and this is examples. And then the text you already saw, numbers can be written in plain text, blah, blah, blah. And then I use another macro, begin example and end example, and it processing, it replaces that with appropriate tag commands to be able to output the example as necessary. And then it goes. And maybe you calculate, well, how can this work? Well, you have 4 templates supported, and you have got English and German, which are factor 2 possibilities. Then you have got some quotes, choice, and so on. And in total, there are roughly 4,000 combinations. And all these combinations are tested on GitHub. And then you see, like here, I'm checking ACM out in the A4 version, using Lua LaTeX, using BibTeX in Tech Live 2023, and having examples in there. And this file runs, and in this file there are, I think it was several hundreds calls to LaTeX MK, and first to the generator, having the diverse configs, and then doing the thing, and then using the other config, like with minted and without minted. And so on, it goes through all the combinations and tests it. And then the runs takes maybe 2 hours, and afterwards, hopefully everything is green. And then you know, okay, now my new update of the template works like, and as you all know, it gets difficult because I run this thing all 2 weeks, and then something is broken because some package got an update and it doesn't work again and so on, and then one needs to fix it. And maybe a new if, like if Tech Live 2023, then do it like that and that and that, but it's the old one, do that and that and that. Okay. And as I said, everything hosted on GitHub with the usual GitHub thing, with the pull requests and the GitHub workflows. And now you are all invited to browse the repo, check if your favorite package is in, and if not, open a pull request and add your package to the thing. And now I'm way ahead of time, but I'd like to discuss things.
Okay, thanks, Oliver. And we have plenty of time for discussion and comments. Okay, Ben.
So I don't know when you started, but have you checked for other tools? Because the island of tech actually has Template for some years, which does something similar. So why this and not something that already exists?
Which one was it again?
Template.
Template. Maybe as I started the thing, I was not aware of.
Well, but there are other templating solutions. So what sets this apart from?
So yeah, things you mean depend on what tech. You mean for the engine? Why choosing Geoman generator instead of something else?
why would I, as a user, choose your template generator instead of those that are already out there?
If you are a student at the University of Stuttgart, I think you won't be available at the other thing, and I think also the IEEE maybe not, but we can join forces there for sure.
Okay, thanks. More questions? Enrico?
While I approve of generating templates so students don't exchange their template, their ever-growing template, I have some doubts about the package you mean to include. Because, for instance, I saw Paralist, and Paralist is in conflict with an item, so that's a part that should be very carefully examined, because it can lead to many conflicts.
Okay.
Thanks for the comment. More questions, remarks, comments?
I will update your example because IUPAC defined in 1999 that units have always been upright, not italic. And there is, don't really comment on that, SI units has a lot more of new names to offer, quantity range and things like that.
Okay.
I mean, the previous question puts me in mind of a wider point. The idea obviously is to provide up-to-date, good quality information on how to do certain tasks, and as you say, to avoid people just copy-pasting things. You've already said how many combinations there are. How much effort is it to keep it up to date? Because obviously things do change, and what's the, how realistic is that, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's, maybe I would say for me here it's once a month the change, but during the change, the combinatorial effort is the bad thing. Like if I change something there and then does it break in a combination German and Babel and Minted, and then does it break there? And there the thing helps because it checks all combinations, not that I do something and someone fires up his or her LaTeX thing and then it doesn't work for me. So this helps to get this combinatorial check going.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. I like the idea of having a template, or choosing which template to use, or choosing which packages, or like paper size and so on. Did you ever thought about putting a website online to ask these questions so the user can download a style or text file as a template, so without installing locally?
Okay. No, not that, but maybe maybe the existing solutions can do that. I don't know.
Yeah, just a quick comment. There is the Overleaf API, so you can directly open templates in Overleaf just via, whatever, just via get. You don't even need post or anything.
Okay. And for sure, for the opinionated best combinations, I offer the tech files, and because I own the github.com/LaTeX Templates orga, and I put the templates there.
Hi, Oliver. First of all, congrats for your project. It looks very interesting. I was just wondering, since you use Node.js to write it, if it would be possible, perhaps as a feature request for the future, if you could generate some static binaries instead of us having to deal with Node.js directly. I think I've tried something around those lines in the past. I know probably you'll add a lot of payload to the executable, but maybe it would be worth, because I know the average user might not be skilled enough or brave enough to use Node.js.
Yeah, you already, because I looked at maybe 5 tools for template generation. It was for Python thing and so on. And I was thinking, okay, what are the preconditions? And we discussed this morning that also LaTeX could be used with the prompts, and maybe either porting the whole thing to LaTeX somehow. But maybe one could transpile the thing, like having the JavaScript thing, and how hard can it be to transpile a templating engine to some LaTeX based thing? But this could be then in another talk how to do that.
What?
Yeah, Oliver, my idea would also be just to use some Lua scripts, because I've seen in the past some examples that used Lua for some heavy-duty computation stuff, so that could be quite interesting. Because you do not want to ship binaries just to select, so to build up a template. That doesn't make sense, I think.
Yeah. Then one answer could be the website, and the other answer could be like port the whole thing. And this could be then a challenge for me to really learn Lua LaTeX finally. Yeah, not only. Yeah.
Okay, I actually have one comment about the fact that people blow up their preambles. I have seen definitely many examples of things started from an overleaf template. I mean, template in the overleaf gallery. So quite a clean code with 500 lines of a preamble, copy-pasted from elsewhere. So the fact that the people started with a good template didn't stop them from completely molesting the template with repeated things like new command RR and renew command AA, because AA is already defined, and it failed, so they added the renew command there, and then having new command reals, which was the same as new command RR. So I definitely saw that as well. So like if one of the goals was to solve the problem of having messy preambles, I'm afraid we know it will fail. That's what I want to say just as a comment. Again, any more questions or comments? Yes?
Thanks so much. I really appreciate the effort to standardize, and introduce things that people can use and that are maintained, actually. I guess I have a question around like your motivation here. Have you done any user research? Have you ever talked to people who are looking for templates? Because I suspect that it's sort of two extremes. People who love their personal setup and have it perfectly, cater to their needs, and then they maintain their own templates and have their favorite packages, right? Or it's the other end of the spectrum, and you have people who just want to download something that works out of the box. And those people probably won't use a command line interface in that moment. Mm-hmm. Or basically, to the question that was already asked, but like, have you talked to people who are looking for templates?
I think my answer is threefold. And yes, I did for sure, because my peer group uses templates, and the feedback was they will never use such a dubious tool not used by anyone else. And therefore, I can pass command line arguments to the tool to generate things, and therefore I generate through here some default things, the opinionated defaults. And the other things, do people care about pre-configured templates not maintained by their own? And I think this LNCS now has more than 100 stars, if even not 200, so that there is a community around there loving that. And what was the third part? I don't know. I think, this command line, so I want to say that the target group for this command line interface is certainly smaller than a target group downloading pre-configured templates, but I wanted to satisfy both consumers. Because first of all, I only wrote paper.tag for the things and had a huge if def there. Then we go to the large preamble and it was if Lua LaTeX, else, and then if this, and there were 1,000 lines of code for the preamble and all of things. This is rubbish. I don't want to copy in 1,000 lines of code. Therefore, I moved the if defs in tag up to the main file for generation. Then therefore here you have the defs with the drawback that you have to choose between PDF LaTeX and Lua LaTeX very early. And if you say, okay, now I heard that this ligature management is very better in Lua LaTeX and I want to switch, and it's difficult now. But this is then, this is the current state.
Okay, thank you. Still time for 1 or 2 questions, I think. Seems we have none at the moment, so thanks again, Oliver.